And today we have Jeffrey Epstein's records targeted in expanding probe by Virgin Islands. What's this about? It seems since Maxwell has been taken into custody by the FBI, there has been a couple of movements within the pedophile world, if I can call it like that. The New York, the Virgin Islands has expanded its document search in a racketeering lawsuit against the estate of deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, issuing new subpoenas last week after demanding records from 6 financial institutions in July. Carol Thomas Jacobs, the territory's chief deputy attorney general, said in a court filing August 24th she has subpoenaed Epstein-related records from American Foreign Exchange Incorporated and Narrows Holdings LLC. The prosecutor wants records and account statements from American foreign exchange ties to more than 24 Epstein entities from January 1st, 1998 until the present, according to court filings from Narrow Holdings. The territory seeks documents and electronic stored information or objects, along with permit entry onto the designated premises, records show. American Foreign Exchange and Narrows Holding couldn't be immediately located for comment. A spokeswoman for the Virgin Islands Attorney General's office didn't immediately return an email seeking comment about the new subpoenas. Dennis George, the Attorney General of the Virgin Islands, sued Epstein's estate and 6 related companies in January, alleging violation of the territory civil racketeering law. It is seeking unspecified damages, forfeiture of Epstein's private island in the territory, and restitution for the sexual abuse victims. Authorities on the island are also conducting a criminal investigation into whether Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell participated in the criminal sex trafficking ring. Oh, come on, man. Maxwell was arrested in July in a separate probe involving similar charges brought by the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan. She has pleaded not guilty. Epstein was found dead in his federal jail cell about a year ago after the U.S. charged him with sex trafficking. Well, I suppose she would say that she's innocent for fear of her life, eh? Last month, George asked the 6 financial institutions for account statements, deposit and withdrawal slips, information about the source and destination of funds, and the identity of those requesting the transactions. She is also seeking internal bank memos, phone records, internal correspondence, and documentation of any internal due diligence or investigations related to the accounts. Bloomberg News. The shizzy is about to hit the fan. Let's look at this article from ABC News. Once again, I'm not reading American news. German police raid 50 homes in child porn investigation. 1,000 police officers in Germany raided the homes of 50 people as part of a nationwide crackdown on the online sharing and distribution of child pornography. Let's see, this is on the 2nd of September, very early. Maybe I'm too early for these other people. Berlin, 1,000 police officers in Germany raided the homes of 50 people. Berlin, 1,000 police officers in Germany raided the homes of 50 people as part of a nationwide crackdown on the online sharing and distribution of child pornography. Um, Cologne police said Wednesday. None of the 48 men and 2 women suspected of involvement was arrested during Tuesday's raid, but investigators seized around 2,000 phones, computers, and other devices upon which images were stored, police said. Around 2,000 phones. Jeez. How many people were there? 50. And 2,000 phones. And there's nothing wrong there, nothing to see there. There's a saying in Afrikaans that says, die dealer is net so goed soos die stealer. Okay, so these people got off because they didn't really do anything according to this law. They just looked. Okay. Now, what this saying talks about is whoever participated is just as guilty as the person who did the crime. That's basically the gist of this Afrikaans saying. Suspects are accused of sharing images of child sexual abuse through networks such as social media and messaging services. Michael Esther, Director of Criminal Investigations for the Cologne Police, said none of them are suspected of directly abusing any children according to the current state of the investigation. Behind every picture, there's a victim of sexual abuse, Esther said. We will never give up the the fight against pedophile criminals. I just want to come back to something here. I think it was TED Talks, and there was a European woman that was actually doing a talk. She was talking about pedophilia and how pedophilia isn't a crime, but rather a sexual orientation. And to be dead honest, that freaked me the fuck out. Because when you walk into a situation where you live in an era where it's okay for this to happen. Now, there are some cultures which allow for this, and I'm not picking on the one culture because there are multiple cultures where this is allowed, where women are basically at birth um, they are given to a person, not given to the person, but he owns her as soon as she ovulates or becomes a woman. In some cases, 9 years old, they get raped by these people. Some religions even earlier, and I'm not just talking about the ones everybody's going on about. There are some other interesting facts out there that you're not allowed to talk about. The raids took places in 12 states with a focus on Bavaria. I drink that beer. There's a non-alcoholic beer called Bavaria. They were part of an investigation that began in October 2019 and has so far identified 207 suspects. At the Bavaria beer, we have a no alcohol tolerance on the roads. That's why I drink non-alcoholic beer when I have to drive. Just to correct that. So there's 207 people, suspects. What's important is that we are seeing a new kind of crime, SS said. The perpetrators are not acting on their own, but are part of a bigger networks which are using the structures of online communication. Dude, that's been happening for fucking years. Come on, seriously? Police received a lot of support in the investigation from one specific messenger service operator. SS said he declined to say which one. Investigators are looking quickly through the seized images to see if they can find evidence indicating the children are still being abused, and if so, they will try and find the rescue them. Okay, so I know Anonymous at one stage were some of the people at Anonymous were working with the FBI, sending them, I wouldn't say illegal, but whenever they come across something that looked like pedophilia, when they might have accidentally, gotten into somebody's network because of a weak password or something like that. They actually worked closely with the police, and they actually did those kinds of things. There's a lot of people working with the police to stop this, and yeah, so you never know who is helping the police, and I'm sure they're going to keep this person safe. Let's go to the next article. It's just as interesting. Virgin Island Attorney General seeks access to sealed documents on Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking scheme. Now, it sounds very similar to the one that I previously read, but it's not. So there's a specific reason why I want to go through this one. The Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands asked for access Tuesday to sealed papers in a civil case over Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking scheme. The confidential documents are relevant to an ongoing lawsuit filed by Virgin Island Attorney General Denise George against the multimillionaire pervert's estate. Her office argued in the Manhattan federal court's filings. I hope she didn't call him a pervert and there. He might have taken offense, or somebody might have taken offense, and she might have some people turning up at her house burning the shit down. In light of Epstein's death in federal prison, which was an accident and unfortunately happened too soon, his direct testimony is unavailable to the USVI. USVI, who's that? Right, anyway. Thus, any testimony by or about Epstein in this action may be critical to the USVI's law enforcement action, William Norwood, an attorney for George, wrote. The sealed papers are part of a defamation lawsuit pitting Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre against his alleged Madame Ghislaine Maxwell. The Virgin Islands lawsuit alleges that the registered sex offender brought underage girls to the private island as recently as 2018 and kept a database of nearby underage victims. Now, 2018, Jeffrey was already in jail at that stage. He'd already been served that 1-year sentence, which was sort of a scam of a sentence where you could go out weekends and could go in and out wherever you wanted. A federal judge is overseeing the lengthy process of approving the releasing of documents, many of which contain allegations against prominent men who associated with Epstein and Maxwell.